Everything in this video comes from Ragnarok Zero Global Game Client files only. Conflicts with classic RO or the manhwa are real. ROZ. Global is its own version of the world. You've seen Freya's temples, her priests. The Pope herself was chosen by the goddess. But Freya's religion didn't arrive in Midgard peacefully. There's an in-game book in the ROZ Global client called Flower That Blooms From Blood. 2 parts. No author. The publisher calls it widely believed to be fictional. It ends with a man dying in the rain and a girl surrounded by petals made of his blood. The publisher's note explains what kind of story this is. This tale is about 2 groups that fought for goddess Freya against Odin and follows a heroine chosen by the gods, similarly to our Pope chosen by Freya. There was a war, not peaceful missionary work, a war. Freya's faithful came to a land, worked to make it habitable, then turned to the people already living there. Worship our goddess or else. The natives had welcomed them. They'd lived side by side for a while. But their god was Odin. When conversion was demanded, peace ended. The text doesn't take sides. Freya's faithful believed their cause to be righteous. Naturally, the natives were sure that they had been wronged. On the ground, it looks like this. A soldier named Kras, hiding behind a broken carriage in a field he burned down on orders. They used to teem with golden wheat under the autumn sun. Now look, I reduced it to charred earth. Before the war, there was Senia. Silver blonde hair, skin so light-sensitive she could barely step outside. On her birthday, she makes Kras a promise. Find her a rose within 3 years. Not any rose. A rose that bloomed from the tears of the goddess. Bright red. Bloomed on a rainy day. The publisher called Senia a heroine chosen by the gods. She doesn't know it yet. Her wish already does. On the battlefield, Kras finds an old friend, Baron, wearing priest's armor with Freya's symbol on his belt. They laugh together about the rose story. 2 men in a hole under a broken carriage, laughing about promises in the middle of a war. Then, Baron drives a sword into Kras's stomach. He pulls a golden pendant from his jacket. Odin's symbol. The belt covered in Freya's tokens was a collection, trophies from soldiers he killed while pretending to be one of them. You took our land away from us. Then you forced us to deny Odin and pledge allegiance to Freya. A native. A spy. He feels regret. Not enough. In the end, I'm siding with my god. Dying in the mud, Kras asks Freya for one thing, not his life, just to keep his promise. Far away, Senia sees something falling from the sky that isn't rain, thousands of blood-red petals drifting from the clouds. She runs outside. She already knows. She falls to her knees. The rose petals make the girl with pure white skin look just like a beautiful red rose blooming alone in the rain. The rose that bloomed from the tears of the goddess was never an object. It was always Senia. The Odin Orthodox Church, their Bible and issued armor exist in ROZ Global right now. The Church of Freya stands alongside it. These aren't competing modern institutions. They're the legacy of this war. Freya's jewel, an in-game item, is described as a brilliant gem said to have formed from the tears of goddess Freya. The same tears Senia asked for. Sacred things are born from divine grief. The rune Midgard's kingdom was built on ground that belonged to someone else, won by people absolutely certain they were right. The book says it's fictional. The world it describes is the one you log into. We don't know what Senia becomes. We don't know how the war ended. The original was lost. What we have is a reconstruction. If you know how this continues, from classic RO, from the manhwa, drop it in the comments. I work with what's in the files. You might know something I don't. flower that blooms from blood, found in the Ragnarok Zero global game client.